How everybody doing out there? All right. Well, go ahead on and get it started right. Get in the spirit, get everything right. So today I'm gonna start out with Amazing Grace. So here we go. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like G. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Good morning. What's happening, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in, listening to me, because I know everybody's time is precious, okay? So I appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe. Share my video because I'm trying to get a revolution going. Y'all all know what it is, okay? This is the family conversation, the community conversation we've been having, all right? Ain't nothing new here. We're talking about exposing the bully. Who's the bully? Child support. You understand? And how is child support a bully? Because child support knows that the false identity of family that they are creating is the direct reason society is starting to collapse on itself with ill-behaved people who are basically broken people making broken people, because when you start something from something broken, then that's just the way it's going to be. You understand? So as Christians, we have to understand that the institution of marriage is under attack. And it's under attack through this program called child support and the attorney general and the state and local government, all in the name of $1. And so we have to stand up and we have to fight for marriage. We have to fight for traditional marriage. When I'm speaking of marriage, traditional marriage, okay? That we understand the father, the mother, the offspring, however many they may be. All right. So, first of all, I've been constantly talking about family. So before we get started this morning, I wanted to cover the definition of family. Because the definition of family, to me, and so this is where more clarity comes in and we can decide which side of the fence we're on. Because I believe that a family is the father, the mother, the offspring from that union of the two. Now, when you look at Oxford, okay, Oxford defines a family as a group of one or more parents and their children living together in a large house with a lot of land. I'm not making this up. That's their definition of family. So we've seen the definition of the word gay evolve from being happy to meaning homosexual. We've seen our marriage go under attack and be redefined from being a man and a woman to a man and a man and a woman and a woman, and who knows what else they got going on down the road. Now, on the slick tip, when you look at the dictionary to see, well, what is their definition of family, you find out that their definition of family is a an individual, a group, one or more parents, and their children living together in a large house with a plot of land. Now, if you are truly a Christian, if you are truly a child of Christ, if you truly understand what's happening, then you understand that it's time for us to stand up and set ourselves aside. And how do you set yourself aside? You have to say, I'm not participating in this wicked system. I'm not participating in this wicked system. How you not participating in this wicked system? You have to get your babies up to the kitchen table when they first getting old enough to want to hold something. You give them a pen and some paper. You give them a pencil and some paper. You understand? Crayons and paper. All right? Then that gradually gets to you getting up to the kitchen table and y'all, making it a tradition to be studying and doing things. So this develops those good habits early. A family is not women and children. I'm going to say that again. A family is not women and children. A family is not a man and children. A family is a man, a lady, and the offspring that they create. That's it. If you're trying to make it into anything else, you're a GDL. You're a GDL. I don't care who you are. It's not a family. It's a single parent household. It's not a family. All right? You got one parent in there. Words have definitions and they have meanings. Okay? You can't take that word, which is so crucial to marriage, because it helps to formulate the sense of what marriage is and what marriage does. So you change marriage from its traditional form and you change family from its traditional form. It's time for us to set ourselves aside. It's time for us to say, we want to redress this situation. Y'all have lost y'all mind. A family, the only way children get here is through a man and a woman. That is the original family tree. There is no way two women get together, and no matter how much they lay together, will they ever conceive. Okay? No matter how much two men lay together, they will never conceive. All right? So we're going to put away the silly season. We're going to get rid of the nonsense, and we're going to say we want marriage back in the house of the Lord. People who want traditional marriage, all right, husband, wife, children, want to be identified with that. We even want it to be identified as traditional marriage. You see, this is all the slick stuff that they do to be able to come in through the back door. This is why they want the father out of the home. This is why they want the father out of the way, so that they can do slick stuff like this and nobody can ever be there to challenge it or whatever, and they can just run amok. And it's not women doing this. This is men doing this. This is men doing this because they want to have their sexual fantasies cured. This is men doing this because they want deviancy. They want looseness. They want a certain segment of society to never aspire to reach the heights to where they are. So, if you are weak enough, they will come into your house and they will destroy everything. And they don't physically come into your home by knocking on your door. They come into your home through your television. They come into your home through the priorities that you set in life. When you set the bills to be more priority than the children and lie and try to make it seem like that's wrong for you and the children to be poor because you're trying to focus on their education. So that's why you're not working 60 hours a week. You're just keeping the bills paid, keeping people clean, keeping, you know what I'm saying, the lights on and people with full stomachs, okay? You ain't got to have polo. You understand me? You ain't got to have polo. You ain't got to have jabot. You ain't got to have that. You understand? You ain't got to have ballads. You feel me? All right? You can go ahead on and get, $39 pair of Nikes. You understand me? You'll still be G'd up. You'll still be G'd up. Take my word for it. Okay? But all this old spoiling these children and doing this old foolishness, we got to put an end to it. Because these people are smart. These people done changed the definition of family. These people done changed the definition of marriage. All right? And our children are being taught this stuff behind our back because we taking it for granted that we know what the definition of family is. Now, if you give a good GD, you will go and pull up the definition of family on your phone and see what it say the definition of family is. And if you're old enough to know better, then you should be just as shocked as I am. But at this point, you know, please like, share, subscribe. My Cash App is $Gil Muse. Don't hesitate to support me until I can reach enough support to get monetized, because I really do plan on getting this revolution going. I really do think that this is a civil rights issue of our time, fatherhood, and in all the communities. If we want to have safe cities, if we want to have a strong military, especially look like we're getting ready to enter World War III, if we want to be able to maintain and modernize our cities and towns and rebuild old places that have been abandoned, then we're going to have to give fathers their sons, because fathers teach young men how to make money with their hands when they're young, so their hands are not idle. But without a father, you got a bunch of young men roaming around trying to figure out how to make money. And the only thing they're going to come up with is how to take something from somebody, how to hurt somebody. You know, they don't have no money, so they got to get some money from somewhere, all right? So we're going to pick up on our conversation, our community conversation we was having yesterday, where we were talking about, you know, the benefits of father in the house. And I told you, I said that I would be speaking about father present families, you know, discourage idleness. And we, as I'm letting you know, that fathers in the home, we discourage idleness. We don't play that. We're going to make sure you know what we know. We ain't going to have you sitting around like no bump on the log either. You can believe that, G. So, starts out by saying, a college degree is not the only measure of success. In fact, getting at least a high school degree and then a full-time job are two key steps toward avoiding poverty as adults. Unfortunately, more and more young men today are floundering without purpose and without work, as Nicholas Epstebat and Evan Abransky have reported. The U.S. has seen a surge in the number of prime-age men who are not currently working or looking for work. Prior to the pandemic, nearly 7 million men between the ages of 25 and 54 were not working at all. The daily life of these men is often marked by hours in front of a screen while vaping, smoking marijuana, or under influence of some other kind of substance. So how does a father's presence or absence affect his son's ability or failure to launch? That is, to be either in school or the labor force by the time he reaches early adulthood. Once again, we can see the apparent power of the biological father's presence when it comes to pushing boys out of the house and towards becoming contributing members of society, as the above underscored, you know, with the young men growing up and their biological fathers and significantly more likely to be idle in their mid-20s compared to young men who did grow up with their biological fathers. 19% versus 11%. Okay, that's a 7% disparity. But I think if we were to concentrate and focus more on giving fathers their sons, that number would greatly increase. Okay, and this article is so correct because fathers have expectations of their sons. A father is not going to have no 21, 22-year-old son just walking around his house, eating up his food, soaking up his AC, chilling, acting like, he still got tomorrow. A daddy looking at a 21-year-old like, time is up, Joker. What you doing? Where you going? But what's the progress? Where we at? Whereas if a mama still see her baby, it's not uncommon to see a man, a full grown up man in his mid-20s, 30s, 40s even in some cases, I've seen still relying on either living with his mother or going back to his mother in between relationships. And if you like that, then you are basically homeless, right? Because like, where do you receive your mail? Because you was living with her all this time and now you and her done broke up, so you back over here by your mama. So I guess that means your mail go by your mama house. You're not no man. I don't know what you are, but, you some form of man. But I mean, please, we got to do better. We really have to do better, because this allowing these women to fill up the penitentiary with these children and fill up the graveyard with these children and act like we don't understand what the cause is, and then sitting here looking at the evening news every day and acting like we don't understand why all these young people running amok and doing all this killing. Every adult that's sitting here playing dumb, you are effing L. If you sitting here playing like you don't understand why these kids in these inner cities are doing what they're doing and why crime is at an all-time high like it is, and why, disparity and everything is running, and the girls is just busting it wide open everywhere they can for anybody that want it, it's because you have made the attorney general, the child support system, the state, federal, local government have made an awesome effort at erasing the American middle class and poor father through the obstacle of child support, all right, to the effect that they can create the type of societies that they want to create to engineer and manufacture the things they want, keeping the criminal industrial complex full and well fed and stocked with young prime bucks and young prime buckettes, okay, and keeping the mortuaries and graveyard with a constant flow of business, all right? And then Hollywood is eating off of it and eating big. You look at it, and I mean, every movie you can think of with black people, it's really black exploitation, just enhanced to a point to where by a lot of young people not knowing what black exploitation is, that's why we can make these movies with these stereotypes and all this stuff with the gun and the drugs and all this thing over and over and over again, and stereotype our character, all right, and be Aunt Jemima again. But instead of being Aunt Jemima, the character who's downtrodden and beaten, now we are the character who is a predator upon his own people, okay? And we condone and give that predator praise. The time for that day is over, all right? It's time for us to all gather around the wolf and beat him to death with sticks, okay? What does that mean? That means that it's time for us to stop glorifying the gangster and the thug in our community and start to reward education, start to honor education, start to push our young girls toward young men who are striving to do something and trying to have a stable life, to start to teach our young ladies again how to be wives and mothers, okay, so that they can help be the glue to hold families together. Stop teaching them that the worst is going to happen to them, so they go into the relationship knowing I'm going to get child support, thinking I'm going to get child support and all this other kind of stuff. And so that's teaching them to think only about themselves and F the children that they make. And believe you me, the fallout from this mess, long before she get child support, you done destroy some little people. So anyway, let's pick back up where we left off at, okay? And it says, after controlling for family income, growing up, race, maternal education, age, and AFQT, we find that, and we spoke about AFQT in the other program, we find that young men who did not grow up with their biological fathers are almost twice as likely to be idle compared to their male peers with fathers present in the families. Listen, we keep seeing time and time and time again that male positive biological father presence doubles the chance of positive outcomes with everything good for the young male. Everything we read, every study after study after study after study is just benefit, benefit, benefit. Nobody's trying to say the father is perfect. There are going to be bad dads, just like there are bad moms. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that it is crucial that a person know they self. And so why would you prevent that young man from being with his father so that he can understand who he is? It doesn't matter how you feel about the father and whether the father is good or not, because the things that a child finds that they love about their parent is not the same thing that the mate find that they love about the parent. You understand? So when you know that there are different attractions there, all right, then you step out of the way and understand, I got my relationship with him, he got his relationship with him, and they're two different things. So now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about father present families help keep their sons out of jail. And we know this to be true. Every aspect, every dynamic of life, when you find that the young man has had positive reinforcement from his biological father, having a good, steady diet of his father, we turn out good, wholesome young men. The Attorney General knows this. The state of Louisiana knows this. The governor knows this. The education department knows this. Your minister at church knows this. Everybody know this, okay? All of the bodies of study know this. People who have looked into human behavior and the outcome of environment and everything, okay? The circumstances in which you were raised and what are the outcomes, how many make it out of that circumstance, how many went to the jail. They know exactly how many people live in the area. You know exactly how many of those people have actually been convicted. They know all this stuff. That's what, man, listen, this is by design. This is intentional. I will never, ever stop saying it. When you see those boys in New Orleans on TV shooting and killing and murdering and those young girls, that is because New Orleans is intentionally doing that. New Orleans can fill that city up with trade schools. New Orleans can help those people to get everything that they need so that they can be busy and not have time to stand around and try to think what they're going to do, because they can have all these opportunities to select from. Okay? Everybody knows education beat poverty. But instead, they got all them fucking restaurants down there. They got all that stuff for them tourists and all that other stuff, and don't care about the people that live there. Okay? They're not trying to put no industry in that city. They're not trying to let them people do nothing with their hands in there. They don't build nothing there. They should have 2-3 factories in that city, as many people as they have. Got them people working 12-hour shifts. You understand me? Everybody know I ain't lying. You understand me? They need to put a bunch of $25 an hour jobs in the city of New Orleans, in the city of Baton Rouge, in all of the cities. You understand me? and put these people to work. Anyway, so like we were talking about, fathers, present families helping keep their sons out of jail. So of course, it goes on to say, of course, dads do more than just help their sons pursue an education and become productive members of society. They also play a major role in keeping their sons out of trouble. Research tells us that involved and present fathers reduce the odds that young men become a threat to society. Warren Farrell, author of The Boy Crisis, puts it this way. Boys with dad deprivation often experience a volcano of frustrating anger, and with boys much greater tendency to act out, the boys who hurt will be the ones who most likely hurt us. Look, hurt people hurt people. You show me a pimp, I'm going to show you a dude who got mama issues from his mama abusing him. You show me a rapist, I'm going to show you a dude who got mama issues. A lot of these pedophiles, these dudes got mama issues. Just like the girls be having daddy issues. See, we give them these little sweet nicknames, right? But they are actually psychological, mental breakdowns that manifest themselves through our behavior because the studies have shown because of the absence of the father. All studies have shown this. Cigarettes could only run so long before the studies caught up with them. How long will child support and the attorney general and the governor and the local government and the federal government and the state municipalities and the principalities and all this continue to deprive fathers of their rights to have their children, especially their sons, and expressly know that is the number one breaker of society? And then as this problem has grown out of control on us to the point to where we're calling it mass killing when multiple people are shot now, and we still want to act like this is some great big old problem that can't be solved. Don't let all them so-called smart-ass people on TV, they really stupid as a motherfucker, deflect you and try to keep you from the simple solution to this problem that it is. People are not complex like that. The simple solution to this problem is simple. Give them men their children. You understand me? Give them men their children. We know that as a boy grows, so does his income. As a man gets older, he gets more stable, more set in life. Opportunity grows because his experience grows. The type of work he does pays more. You understand? So why would you deprive his children of that? You would deprive his children of that because you intentionally don't want them to go from poor to middle class. You intentionally don't want them to go from middle class to upper middle class or possibly hit rich. You want to control what everyone is doing, okay, so that you can maintain it. And what I'm saying, who is they? They are the titans of industry that run this country. And so the only way we are going to win is we're going to have to get a petition going saying, hey, listen, we, the Christians of America, want traditional marriage removed from the jurisdiction of the criminal justice system and the courts and to be put back in the house of the Lord. Traditional marriage will take place there, and when it does, the contract and everything will be taken care of at your church, where it will be for your counseling if needed. Everything that go on. See, they're even going to go through counseling before they get married, because when you get married through the church, They're going to do the marriage counseling. They're going to teach you. They're going to have people that's been married a long time that's going to sit you down, talk to you, and prepare you for the things that you're not thinking about, like when he mess up, when she mess up. You know what I'm saying? How y'all going to handle this? And they're going to talk you through how they made it and able to stay married 30 and 40 years. You'll find out that they ain't no angels either. So then you'll go into this more knowledgeable and more understanding as to what you're getting yourself into. And we have to make a strong, concerted effort in, no marriage, no children. So we looked at this situation, and from all the facts I done put on the table, you can clearly see that there is absolutely positively no reason to go into a ready-made family. The conclusion that I draw is you should meet a lady who don't have any children and y'all start a family, okay, and remain loyal to one another through all the ups and downs, through sickness and health, rich or poor, better, worse, all the things that it says. Because it takes into account that you are going to mess up. So when you're standing there taking your vows, they say, for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, because that's saying when he mess up, when she mess up, you still got to be married. You still have this person. You understand that. And you say, yeah, but then, and I'm guilty of it too, then that person do something and you be like, well, I know I did say it, but I don't mean it. So we've all stood in front of the Lord and lied, had to ask for forgiveness because we didn't do what we said we was going to do and got a divorce. Okay? That's the bottom line. But if you go into a situation where you don't have children and the person have children, you see all of the problems that these children are going to have, okay? And you understand that it's telling you, even being a stepdad, them having a biological father doubles their chance of success. Why wouldn't you want the child to be with the father if that doubles the child's chance at success? In every study that I'm going to keep coming to you with, and there are hundreds and thousands of them, so I'm never going to run out of material. And it's going to continue to show that the Attorney General, the child support system, the governor, the state and local government, the federal government, the local municipalities, the principalities, your minister, Department of Education, they are all complicit in this act. And what's so cold is a lot of this is being done by men. And it's being done by men because they want to get your daughters. I'm not telling you no tales. A lot of this is motivated because, think about it. If a man knew that if he have 2 kids with this woman, when that woman leaves, the kid's going to stay with him, you think he'll be getting all them women pregnant? Be real. That's girl power. That's the way they don't want you to think. I am not a hater. I'm a straight congratulator. So look here. It's been Papa G hollering at y'all, saying thank you for listening to me. My Cash App is $Gil Muse. Once again, I'd like to shout out to Mr. Andrew Tate, Mr. Kevin Samuels, late great Kevin Samuels, Lapeef Network. I love everybody. Peace.